What is up, everyone? My name is Gary Blackwood, and today we're on the Hustler Casino Live Thirsty Thursday show. I am so happy to be back under the lights in the Hustler Casino. Unfortunately, the traffic on the way in was crazy busy, so no time for an intro, unfortunately. Running to the stage, I did get this nice shot of me carrying $30,000 in chips from my player bank. We're also playing a bounty game where if you win 3 pots in a row, you win $500 from everyone at the table. Absolutely love that. Really excited to jump in and play today. So we've got a bunch of new faces I've never played with before and a couple of familiar faces as well, particularly Seat 1 and Seat 2. Seat 1 is my buddy Sandor. He's featured a few times in the vlog. Really nice guy. Love playing with Sandor. And Seat 2 is the world famous Suited Superman. He's normally a PLO player, but he's dabbling in the 2 card today. And these two players are actually going to play a couple of crazy pots very early. Suited Superman is going to limp jam with Ace-10 offsuit under the gun in one of the very first hands of the day. Sandor is going to look him up. Sandor is going to win. Sandor is off to a great start, and these two players are all in just a few minutes later. Suited Superman getting it in with a king high flush draw versus Sandor. He's not able to get there. Sandor is 2 for 2, and Suited Superman is stuck early. It takes 25 minutes before my first hand of note. I've got Ace-10 offsuit in the low jack, and I raise it on up to $140. Meiji to my left is going to re-raise. He makes it $500 to go with King-7 of clubs, and Shay is going to cold call this re-raise with King-Jack suited on the button. My hand can't call, but I don't decide to 4-bet bluff here. I've never played with either of these guys before. I've got no read, so I'm not sure if they're strong, if they're weak, if they're loose, if they're tight. I think just letting it go is the play. If I'd known how aggressive Meiji is going to be for the rest of the night, I would have 4-bet this to like 2K or something, but I'm readless, so I just let it go for now. 5 minutes later, I've got Queen-9 of hearts in early position. I raise it on up under the gun. May is going to call next to act, and Jesse is going to make the call in the cutoff. We go 3 ways to the flop, and it comes down Jack 10-5 with 2 diamonds. I've got the open-ended straight draw, backdoor flush draw, overcard to the board. I bet out for $170. May is going to make the call, as is Jesse here. And we see the 7 of hearts roll off on the turn. Pretty good card. Gives me lots more equity. I see no reason not to continue barreling. I bet out for $750. And May is going to make the call here. Jesse just gets out the way, looking for a lot of help on the river. How about a black king to give me the second nuts? Now, my plan was to check on heart rivers or an 8 so I can check raise. But on the king river, I can get called by hands like king queen, maybe a hand like king x of diamonds, maybe even some ace king offsuit. We are early position versus early position. So I decide to bet out here. I bet out for $2,000 on the river. Like I say, check raising the hearts and the 8 and things like that. But there's river going for some value. As we can see, May has just got ace high right now. Wish I had checked him, to be honest, and let him bluff. But a nice pot coming my way. And to profit for the session, let's keep it going. Next up, I've got King-9 offsuit on the button, and the $80 straddle and the $160 straddle are on here. Very, very exciting. I raise it on up to $400. Action is on Shay, and he's going to move all in from the $40 blind. It's 3.7K. He's already got 1 button, and he's had a tough start, so maybe he's shoving super light here. This is 35 minutes into the session, so again, I've got no real reads on this player. I think for a few seconds, but I don't think we can call here. If he's shoving every ace, then we're doing really poorly versus that range, plus obviously hands like king, queen, and king, jack, and things like that. So I do just let it go, and he is going to windmill 8-7 offsuit across the table. We rabbit hunt, and we see a king high flop. I wish I had stuck in the call, but yeah, not able to call it off here. Shay is not going to win 3 hands in a row, so we don't have to pay out the bounty to him. And the grind goes on. Next up, I've got 10-9 of hearts under the gun +1, and suited is going to raise it on up. I am going to make the call next to act. I would normally just fold this in these positions, but we can't be folding this hand on stream. I want to get invited back, so I definitely can't fold. In hindsight, I'd prefer to see myself 3-bet if I'm going to play it, but just making the call this time. Francisco is going to make the call as well. He's got 1 button, and we go 3 ways to the flop. It comes down 9-5-5 with 2 clubs. It's going to check on over to me, and I've got top pair. I decide to take a stab for $270. Francisco is going to make the call. He's hoping to win a second button and then obviously win a third button. And suited is going to bust out the check raise here. He makes it $900 to go. Action is back on me. I'm definitely not folding. But what's important to note is Francisco is very clearly going to fold his hand here after the check raise comes in. Not super relevant, but worth noting anyway. So I do go ahead and make the call. Francisco does get out the way. And we see the 4 of diamonds roll off on the turn. Suited is going to continue to barrel here. This time he bets out for $1,400. And again, Not folding just yet. Lots of draws that my opponent can have. He might just give up on the river. We might have the best hand. I go ahead and make the call here. River is another 4, and after a few seconds, my opponent moves all in for $5,000. This is the problem with just flatting this hand pre-flop. I've got myself into a bit of a pickle here. Versus most players, I'd quickly fold this, but this is suited Superman. I've seen him 6-bet bluff king 6 suited. You know, he's off to a tough start. I unblock all the natural bluffs like 8-7, 7-6, 8-6 suited, etc. All of which he will absolutely open pre-flop. I also block pocket 9s, pocket 10s. I don't have clubs in my hand. He can lots of value, obviously, but I block some of it. I unblock the bluffs. You guys know where I'm going with this. Versus a capable player, I put on the cape. I make the call. 15.5k pot here. Are we good? He's got ace-9 offsuit. He's opened this under the gun, flop, top, and gone for the sickest line of all time, getting max value. I did not think I had kicker problems here. What a play by my opponent. Let me know in the comments what you think of my river call here. Remember, suited Superman is not a net. I'm snap folding here versus many other players, but versus this player, we can definitely call wider. Maybe just call our pocket 9s and some of our 5x. I think I've made the mistake of just flatting pre-flop here. I should just 3-bet it. But yeah, let me know in the comments how much of a whale I am. It sucks to get off to a bad start here, but I dust myself off. I rebuy for $7,000. And we go again. Next up, we've got a PLO double board bomb pot hand, and I have got King, 3-3. We go 9 ways to these 2 boards, and I have got an absolute monster here. I've got top boat and bottom set. I peeled the king, then a 3, then a 3, then the king. Absolutely beautiful. I bet out for $400 on the flop, trying to make sure nobody folds their 7x, which surely somebody is going to have here. Shay has got a 7 and a nice hand on the other board, 2 pair and a flush draw. He is going to pot it. I am going to cap it to 5,000. This is a 3-bet all in for the $5,000 cap. Let's let resident podcaster Charlie Wilmoth in the booth take this one away.
Good luck.
They will get to the cap here.
Give me a 7. You should chop with him. He's got a lot of outs.
I have a flush.
Bunch of outs for Shay.
Whoa.
Wait.
Quads for Shay on the bottom and a flush on top.
You can't pair the board because you have
Oh my
What? And quads for Gazzy.
You can't pair the board. Wow.
Quads for Shay on the turn on the bottom board and quads for Gazzy on the top board.
Come on,
Ridiculous.
An incredible hand of poker. I was cursing my luck when he hit the 7, only to bang off a Kardashian on the river to find the chop in this 12.2k pot. I had a chance to scoop, but happy to get half back in the end. Next up is a very fun hand. So Francisco's got 2 buttons, and if he wins another one, he wins a bounty off of everyone at the table. The rest of the table is on defense as a result. That's why suited Superman is limping in here from early position with Jack 3 suited. I've got Jack 10 offsuit next to act, and I don't see the point in raising an average hand like this. Francisco is never folding, so our raising range should probably be stronger. So I just make the call. Got to play my part in the defense here. Meiji is going to call. Francisco is going to make it $440 to go. It's kind of a small raise here given what's at stake. I'd be making it like 800, maybe even 1,000 in his shoes. Big Rick is going to call with a 10-6 suited. Suited makes the call, and I call as well. You got to play defense, guys. You got to play your part here in defending. Meiji is in there as well, and we see the flop come down. Ace, Queen 10 with 2 hearts. We're going to check it on over to Francisco. And he bets out for $1,300 here. Suited Superman is going to make the call. I'd be raising his hand in his shoes, but his call is going to allow me to call here as well with my pair and my gut shot. My plan is to call here, and I can also bluff hearts with the 10 of hearts in my hand, though as we can see, that will absolutely not work. One other important factor is that if my hand improves, Francisco has to call wider on the river because of the bounty. He's getting a better price, him and him only. So it's more likely I get paid if I make my hand. We're going to go 3 ways to the turn with 6k in there. It is a total brick. A little bit of hope though, when we check it on over to Francisco, he is just going to check this one back. Looking for some help on the river or a bluffable heart river. It is the 8 of diamonds, not what I was looking for. It checks on over to me, and I've got just enough showdown value to take this to showdown. I check. Action is on Francisco, and he does just check as well. His ace 5 offsuit is good here with just top pair. He's going to win this pretty big pot. He's also going to win $4,000 in bounties. My hand had a lot of outs, lots of bluffing potential, but I just couldn't get there. And this defense is going to cost me even more money. Really not going so great so far, but hoping it'll turn around when I look down at pocket kings a little while later. Sandor is raised under the gun to $120. Suited Superman makes the call, and I make it $520 to go with my pocket kings. How exciting. Action is on Big Rick. He is a PLO player, and he says 3 words that I was longing for him to say.
Come on.
So Gazzy with 2 kings. Big Rick rips it with
I go
8s.
You go once? Yes.
Good spot for Gazzy.
Okay, 110.
That makes... Oh, just kings? Just kings? Just kings.
It makes you feel that I had an ace.
Oh, I feel fantastic now. Thank you so much for that.
Ooh. 8 for Rick.
Twice, right?
9-10, right?
Never.
9-10.
Actually, never.
And Rick gets the double at Gazzy's expense.
A $10,000 8 on the flop to give my opponent the better hand. This sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's just a cooler. It's an expensive one, but what are you going to do? Very next hand, I've got 10-9 of clubs under the gun +1. Suited has raised it on up under the gun, and I have learned my lesson from the last hand. I put in the re-raise this time. Same hand, same positions. I make it $420 to go. Action is going to fold all the way around to Suited, and he is going to make the call. Here we go. Heads up to the flop, and it comes down 8-6-5 with 2 hearts and 1 club. Not a great flop at all for my range here. And my range wants to play a lot of checks. That'll mean checking with some gut shots sometimes as well. Also nice for us to have some nut straights on the straight completing turn. So I do decide to get a little sneaky here and check it on back. Turn is a straight completing turn, but not my straight completing turn. And what's more, my opponent is now going to bet out for $300. I can't go anywhere. He's going to have a lot of 1-pair hands like ace-8 suited and things like that. So my 9 and my 10 are live as well as the 7. I go ahead and make the call. And we see the king of clubs hit the river, not the miracle 7 that I was hoping for to super straight over straight my opponent. Suited is going to check it on over to me, and I can't just check this down. I think my bluff is going to get called really often here, but I'm not going to check back 10 high here. I've got to bluff this, even though it's probably not going to get through. I bet out for $900. I've miscalculated the size of the pot in my head. I thought I was betting out for 75%. I'm actually quite surprised here to see Suited Superman fold his jack-8 of diamonds on the river. Maybe my 60% misclick looked really milky to him, but delighted that this one is going to get through. And how I wish I had just 3-bet my 10-9 suited earlier. But yeah, nice pot coming my way. And what's more, I'm going to pick up the first of 3 bounty buttons. If I could just win 2 more, it's $4,000 coming my way. And I'm going to put on the $80 straddle for the very next hand, which gives me a little bit more of a chance of winning. May is limped under the gun here, and Jesse puts in the raise. He makes it $400 to go. With 9-6 suited and a button, I think there's a pretty mandatory call here. Unfortunately for me, May is going to limp raise to 2.4k. When Jesse folds, I of course can't continue here. May has got pocket kings, not much else I can do. This is the beauty of the bounty game. It's making people play looser, and that's obviously good for the game of poker. Just want to remind you guys that I'm running one of the sickest promos I've ever run over on CP. For those that don't know, if you sign up using code GAZZYB, that's GAZZYB, between now and the 24th of May and pay $50 in rake, you'll be entered into a tournament on the 25th of May. If you win that tournament, I will fly you to Vegas to play in the WSOP tag team event with me. I'll cover the flights, the accommodation, the buy-in, everything. I'm really excited about this promo. It's going to be a lot of fun. But what's more, only 17 people as of today, the 4th of April, have qualified so far. So it's anyone's game. So get involved if you can. Remember to always gamble responsibly. And I'll see one of you guys in Las Vegas this summer. I'm so excited. All right, 20 minutes later, the other side of the table have been doing the $80 and the $160 and even a couple of $320 straddles. So Suited Superman and I have agreed to get some bigger straddles on my side of the table. I'm in the $160 straddle here, and Shay has raised it on up to $500. He's been playing a ton of hands so far tonight. Remember, he shoved in with 8-7 offsuit versus me earlier, so I'm not too surprised to see Big Rick put in the re-raise here. He makes it 2.1k to go. I'm in the 160 straddle and look down at Ace Queen. I've got 6.6k to start a hand. That's like 40 big blinds, and given the dynamic of the loose raise and the loose re-raise, I'm just happily sticking this one in here. I cold 4-bet shove. Shay has got Queen Jack, and he is thinking about making a loose call here, but after a little bit of a hand funeral, he is going to get out the way. And we see Big Rick has got ace king. This is such a cooler. We can see just 6 or 7 minutes ago, he's 3-bet squeezed with queen jack offsuit. It's not like this dude's a super nit. He's getting in there. He's playing hands. So the fact he's got ace king is a hell of a cooler given the stack sizes. He likes to run it once. Let's see if we can somehow, some way find a queen here and suck out.
He's a Mr. Run It Once kind of guy.
Jack. Put a jack up there.
Oh, that's a good flop. I've got more.
Yeah, it actually picks up.
Put a club up there.
Gazzy actually picks up some outs.
Oh, baby.
And now has clubs as well. It does not improve. It gets stacked.
Yeah, okay. Nice up.
Rough night so far for Gazzy.
No, I don't mind. And we were playing for small money. And we were playing for small money. And we were playing for small money.
I love getting stacked in pots that are really big to me and then hearing my opponent say that it's pocket change to him. In all seriousness, I've known Richard a few years. He's a high stakes payload guy, lovely guy. This probably is small money to him. To me, not so much though. I'm down $22,000 in this game. That's quite a few 5-5-10 buy-ins over on the casino floor there. I've got a stop loss of 35k for the session. Not quite there yet, so I'm happy to rebuy. And we just keep on going. Just a few minutes later here, we're on defense as Big Rick has got 2 buttons, meaning if he wins a third, he gets $500 from everyone at the table. Hence all the limping in here before I look down at ace king. I put in a large raise. I may get $800 to go. I think my size is good given the dynamic. Big Rick is going to have to, you know, call really wide and maybe even put in some light jams. Action is back on Big Rick.
All in.
What is happening? Call.
All right, I got you this time.
All in from Big Rick and Gazzy calls. This time a 2-1 favorite.
So live.
Good.
So live. The
Yeah,
live
but-
is. Don't fuck us.
Before we see the run out here, if I lose this hand, I'm down 29k in this game. If I win, I'm down 15k. Either way, it's still a lot of YouTube dollars to claw back. So you guys do me a favor, pause the video here, hit that sub button, help your boy Gazzy out the hole for this session in the long run with some YouTube dollars. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see if we can run it once here and find a way to hold.
Rick does have some things that can happen here.
I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that.
Ace.
Jack.
3. Hey. Yes.
And
All right.
nothing there for Rick, so Gazzy's going to get his money back here after losing with ace-queen against ace-king to Rick moments ago.
Should we chest bump? Should we stand out with chest bump? Let's do it. Fucking hell.
A 14k pot coming my way and a chest bump from the legend himself, Sandor. What a time to be alive. Finally winning a big pot today, 14.1k coming my way. This is the beauty of the bounty game. It makes people do crazy shit like this. Maybe it's just pocket change to some people. Just kidding, of course. Can this be the turning point in this session? Can we start to climb out the hole and complete an epic 22k comeback? Let's find out. Maybe these pocket queens will do the job. Just about 15 minutes later, Alex has raised to $200. He's been kind of tight so far, and Suited puts in the re-raise. He's been kind of loose so far. He makes it $700 to go. I cold 4-bet to $2,000. Definitely calling it off versus a jam with Suited. I mean, we're deep, but he's a crazy player. I've got pocket queens. I would be calling it off. He does not move all in. He does not fold. He calls instead. We're going to the flop here with 4.4k in the middle, and it comes down king, jack, 9, rainbow. Don't love that king, but Suited has got hands like 9-8 suited, 9-7 suited, ace-9 suited, ace-jack off suited, etc. So yeah, there's an overcard to the board, but we've got the best hand really often. We've got the gut shot if we need it. I decide to c-bet here, and I want to bet a small size. I bet out for $1,100 here on the flop. Suited isn't going anywhere just yet. He makes the call. Turn is an ace. I didn't love that king. I hate that ace. Suited is going to check it on over to me, and I decide to just check it on back. River's a complete break. Nothing changes, and Suited bets out for 3.3k. Now, he could be bluffing here. He could recognize that his 9-8 suited is not going to be the best hand, and he might want to turn it into a bluff, but I don't even think about it. I've got lots of like ace-5 and ace-queen and stuff like that to call with instead. I just let it go. Really happy to see that he's got ace-jack and not like jack-10 or 9-8 or something like that. 10k pot going his way. A bit disappointing because if I'd won that pot, I'd be continuing the Restucco, but instead it's a small step back. It's not a gigantic step back. We're still in the game here. Let's just keep it going. The game is now also 10, 20, 40, 80 with the $40 big blind ante. It's essentially doubling in size, which means I can get back to even twice as quickly. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, not a glass half empty kind of guy. Half an hour later, I've got ace queen suited on the button. Suited has raised it on up to $240 in the cutoff. I'm going to put in the re-raise. I make it $700 to go. Action is back on suited Superman, and he puts in the 4-bet. He makes it 2.3k to go. I've got an easy decision. I'm not shoving. I'm not folding. I go ahead and make the call here. We go heads up to the flop. It comes down queen 5-5 rainbow. Very good flop. Top pair, top kicker. And my opponent bets out for 1.2k. Again, not raising, not folding. I go ahead and make the call here. Turn is the 7 of diamonds. My opponent checks it on over to me. It's interesting to note that jack was shown pre-flop in error, so pocket jacks is less likely for my opponent. Tough to get called by a worse hand when jacks is less likely. So I do check this one on back. River is another 7, and my opponent fairly quickly checks it on over to me. That tells me I've got the best hand really, really often. I don't think he's going to be trapping with a hand like aces or kings here. So I've got a very easy shove. I move all in for 5.6k. Fade the snap call, fade the snap fold. As we can see, though, he's got ace, jack offsuit, so it's not like we're really likely to get called here. He actually asked me if I've got pocket deuces or 3s or 4s. That would be a bit loose pre-flop. I know I'm a bit crazy, but come on, suited Superman. Eventually, he does just let it go. Still, though, it's a nice pot coming my way. I spoke to him about the hand later, and he actually told me he didn't see the dead jack pre-flop, and he would not have 4-bet if he had seen it. So yeah, it kind of worked out well for me. Next up is a really fun hand. Let's hand it over to Charlie in the booth. Take it away, buddy.
Gazzy's turn now with ace jack off. May just calls. So we're seeing players from the game turn up in the chat because this game was taped earlier than usual, but it was taped today.
Now that you saw it, what should I do?
It's been nice to have Sandor and Gazzy and Superman in the chat with us.
3.
So bet from May, and both players call, and things may be turning around for Gazzy, who got off to a really rough start tonight. Just won that big pot.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
Up. Superman is not going to win this one, though, as Shay calls for the 3 and hits it.
I know that the 3 is healthy, but what else can I fucking do?
I said 3.
What else can I do? It's so fucking stupid.
Should I just fold here on the river? He's asked for a 3, he's got it, and he's bet it. It's such a sick river, such a sick dynamic. I think a turn lead is the play here in hindsight, especially after no flop raise from Shay. I probably would have gotten him out the pot, but yeah, sick river after he calls for a 3 and he bets it. I wasn't sure what to do, but I made the call. He's been playing crazy all night, but yeah, turns out this time he had it. Next up is a really sick hand. So suited is in the cutoff. He raises it on up to $300. Remember, the $80 straddle is permanent now. I've got ace queen offsuit on the button, mainly want a 3-bet, but decide to just call this time. Shay is going to call in the big blind, and Jesse makes the call in the straddle. We go 4 ways to the flop, and it comes down ace 5 deuce with 2 hearts. Pretty good start here. Suited is going to see bet for $500. I am going to make the call, and now Shay puts in the raise. He makes it 3.2k to go. Suited is deep in the tank. He tanks for a very long time, and as he's tanking, I have decided that if he folds, I'm going to back raise jam. It's like 10k total. Shay has been very loose, very aggressive. It's not too crazy for him to have just a complete airball or a worse ace or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to back raise jam here, but eventually suited makes the call. I think he's going to call all his sets, his ace queen, his ace king. And yes, Shay has got plenty of bluffs here, but versus 2 players, I think just being really tight and folding my ace queen is a play here. So I bow out gracefully. Suited actually has the same hand as me. Shay has got 8-5 of diamonds, and we see an 8 roll off on the turn to give Shay 2 pair. Fortune favors the brave, as they would say. He shoves the turn. He is going to win a $27,000 pot versus suited ace queen. I wonder if suited folded and then I back jam. Would he have called it off on the flop here with just 1 pair? We'll never know, I guess, but what a really, really sick hand. Next up, I pick up ace king, and there's no defense here going on with all this limping. It's just a bunch of limps for $80. I look down at my ace king in the straddle, and I raise it on up to $800. Francisco's going to call very, very quickly here, and everyone else gets out the way. We go heads up to the flop. It comes down king 4-3 with 2 clubs. Top pair, top kicker, absolutely fantastic. Kind of a relief to not miss the flop and kind of be playing guessing games and all that stuff. But yeah, top pair, top kicker, I bet out for $700, and Francisco is going to put in the raise. He makes it $1,700 to go. This is kind of interesting, to be honest. I've got the ace of clubs, so I block some like nut flush draws and semi-bluffs and things like that. I've also got the king of diamonds, though, so I block hands like king 4 and king 3 suited. It's also a small raise, and I think Francisco is very likely to have a king here, just kind of trying to see where he's at. I also don't think he's the kind of player that's going to fold top pair on a wet, draw-heavy board. Being out of position also sucks, because if I just call here, the turn can go check, check. So I decide to 3-bet the flop here. I mean, if I'm beat, I'm beat. I've got top, top, and if he's got a draw or a worse king or something like that, I want to play for it all, so I put in the re-raise. I make it $4,000 to go. Not a huge 3-bet here at all, just 2.3k more. And this is a perfect size because it allows me to shove the turn very easily if I got called. He's actually got pocket 10s. Very interesting line from him, but he does just let it go here on the flop. I think my line is good. Remember, I don't know he's got pocket 10s. If I could see that, I would just call and then like lead out on the turn or something like that. But yeah, I wish he just had like king jack offsuit or something. It could have been a very big pot, but still, it's a nice pot coming my way. I'm kind of just breaking even over the last couple of hours. And as the game is winding down, we're going to see Francisco go on an absolute tear at the end of the night. He wins this $18,000 pot with ace king. Then he wins another pot with 10-3. And then he wins a $32,000 pot with jack 10. Cracking pocket aces on the river. This means he gets $500 from everyone. He then wins the next hand with 8-7 to take another $600 from everyone. This is going to cost me 1.1k at the end of the night, plus a little bit extra in team defenses as well, trying to see flops, trying to stop Francisco from winning. Right at the end of the night, this has cost me a little bit extra. Facts and figures are now on your screen. My VPIP was 29% for the night, not too bad, but on the lower end of the scale. My pre-flop raise of 17% in the middle of the pack, again, not too bad. And final tallies for the night, graphics slightly out. I lost $17,000 on the dot. Really disappointing. The game was really good, lots of fun, but a tough night for me in the end. Results for the trip are on your screen right now. I was having a great trip. This is the first time I've played higher than 510 or 1020, and I've got my ass kicked. This is the way it went in 2024, and it's just the way it goes sometimes. It sucks, but what can you do? I really enjoyed making this episode. I am going to be back in a couple of days with a 5-5-10 episode where I try and win 17k. Spoiler alert, I don't, but yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.